Hello everyone, today we'll be discussing about the loop in the C programming. Myself Priyanka Nautiyal. I am currently working as an assistant professor at Dolphin PG Institute of Biomedical and Natural Sciences. In today's session, we'll be studying about the programming loop in C. If we wish to have the execution of the statement in any program more than once, we need to apply the loop. Loop is essential for repetition. In this, if we want to have the single operation multiple times, then we apply the loop. Loops are of two types. First is the entry control loop, another one is the exit control loop. In the entry control loop, the condition is first checked, then only the execution of statement takes place. In the exit control loop, first the execution of the statement takes place, then the condition is checked whether it is true or false. If we look at the methods, how we can repeat a part of the code, then we have the while loop, do while loop, for loop. The while loop and the for loop comes under the category of entry control loop. As in this, the condition is first checked, then only the execution of the statement take place. In the do while loop, the condition is checked after the execution of the statement. So even if the condition is false, the execution of the statement will take place at least once. Now the condition for loop is first we have to initialize our loop counter. We have to provide the initial value to the loop. Then we have to check the condition up to which the loop will continue. Next is the incrementing value given to the loop counter. For example, if you wish to count the number from 1 to 10, then you need to give the initial value I is equals to 1. The test condition I should be less than 10, and the incrementing loop counter from I equals to 1 to I equals to 10. The while loop here is an entry control loop already discussed. The condition, if we look at the flow chart, we have the first condition. If the condition is true, then only the body of the loop is executed. Otherwise, it will directly come out of the loop. In this program, we have used the while loop to display the first 10 natural numbers. If we look at the flow chart, you have to give the initial value. You have to start the number from 1, then I is equals to 1. You have to check the condition. Condition is we have to display only first 10 natural numbers, not more than that. 11 you don't have to display. So your I should be less than 10. Your condition will be checked. Then if it is true, then the body of the loop will be executed. And then increment I value will be incremented. Then again the condition will be checked. Whenever the condition will be false, it will directly come out of the loop. Now this flow chart, we write a program in C. First is a preprocessor file. Then we have the void main. Here we have the variable I. We are declaring that as an integer type. And we are giving the initial value to it. So the first step of the loop is completed. We have initialized the variable. Next is the test condition. While I is less than 10, means up to 10 it will be checking the condition. Whenever I will be less than 10, it will be printing the value of I. When the I value will be greater than 10, it will just get out of the loop. For example, starting with I is equals to 1, while I is less than 10 means 1 is less than 10, your condition is true, then printing, it will be directly printing the value of I, that is 1. Again I plus plus is the incrementing. I plus plus will be adding 1 to the I value. Earlier your I value was 1, now I plus plus become 2. Again it will check 2 is less than 10, then it will be true condition, then following statement will be executed inside the while loop, that is printf percentage di. The I value is now printed, that is 2. Again I plus plus 3, 3 is also less than 10, then 3 will be displayed. Then I plus plus 3 become 4, 4 is also checked. Likewise up to 10 it will be checking. This is how you will be getting your first 10 natural numbers on the output screen. Next is the do while loop. It's just the few changes in the while loop. That is, first it will be doing the task, means first the execution of the statement will occur, then after that the condition will be checked. So starting the flow chart, initializing body of the loop, incrementing, then the condition is checked, and then if it is true, then again it will go to the body of the loop. The syntax is simply do is a keyword here, statement whatever operations you want to perform, and then whatever the condition test. While is again the keyword. So do while is doing the first the execution of the statement. So whether the condition is true or false, it will have the execution at least once. At least one time the execution of the statement will take place before condition check. Next we have the for loop. It is similar to while loop. Having the entry control loop. Condition is checked before. This type of loop is used when the number of repetition in the program are fixed. For initialization, I is equals to 1, condition test I is less than 10, then increment I plus plus. If these conditions are met, then only the statement will be executed repeatedly. If you look at the program, here we are using the for loop to finding the factorial of a number. The factorial is simply, if we want to have the factorial of 5, then 5 factorial will be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So what we are doing, we are just reducing the value and getting the multiplication is equals to 120. Starting with the preprocessor files, main, variable declaration. Here the integer type int I we have taken, number, long factorial we have taken. Initial value of factorial is equals to 1. Now the printf. Please enter any number to find the factorial. This statement will take the number from the user. The user want to have the factorial of 5, so the number here is 5. The initializing value 1. 1 is less than 5. I plus plus, incrementing the loop. The operation inside the for loop is simply the factorial is equals to factorial into I. This only will be giving us the factorial of 5. Then after the execution of the loop, if the condition become false, then it will be printing the factorial. If you look at the solution, the right side, we have the number 5. If you want to calculate the factorial of 5, initially I is equals to 1 and factorial is also 1. Then the factorial value from the loop execution will be getting 1. Then incrementing I plus plus I will become 2. Again 2 is less than 5. Then you will be getting factorial 1 into 2. The 2 is the value of I. The factorial value now you obtain is 2. Again I plus plus become 3. 3 is also less than 5. Then factorial is equals to earlier factorial value is 2 into I value is 3 and you are getting 6. Next again increment operation I plus plus gives you 5, 4. Then again 4 is less than 5. The factorial will become earlier factorial value is 6 and now the I value is 4. So that now the factorial value you obtained is 24. Next I plus plus again you are getting 5. This 5 is also less than equals to number is your 5. Again the operation inside the for loop will execute the 5 factorial factorial is equals to factorial into I. The factorial earlier value was 24 and now the I value is 5. So 24 into 5 will give you 120. Again the increment operation will take place. I plus plus, the earlier value was 5, now the I plus plus becomes 6. Now again the test condition, I is less than equal to 5 is false, as we have get the I is equals to 6. Now the condition become false and you get out of the for loop. So the statement outside the for loop is printf. We are printing the factorial of percentage d is the number we have 5 is equals to factorial we have obtained after the execution of the for loop is simply 24 into 5 is 120 is the factorial. So the factorial of 5 is equals to 120. This is how we use the for loop for finding the factorial of a number using for loop. Next, these are the references. These are the books I have taken help from. You can also have the books. Thank you.